Welcome to another Bandology interview. Bandology is a Canadian nonprofit dedicated to more music for more kids via education, collaboration, and community.
Hi everyone, my name is Lucas Redwood and I'm the Manager of Music and Learning with Bandology. Bandology is a Canadian nonprofit music organization dedicated to supporting more music for more kids. I'm here today with Roisin Miland, a percussionist with a Bachelor in Music degree from the University of Western Ontario. How are you doing today, Roisin?
I'm good, Lucas. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Great.
So why don't we start off for this interview? Can you describe a bit about your background in music?
Yeah, for sure. So I started playing drums when I was about 11. I remember it very distinctly because I had like my tour for like middle school. It was like the open house for the middle school, right? I walked into the music room and my like elementary school didn't have like a music room. We had like recorders. It was like lame. And there was a drum kit there and I was like, Mom, I want to play that. And I like pointed to it. And so, yeah, that's like when I started playing drums. And it wasn't until I got to high school that I started playing percussion. Then it kind of went from there. Like in high school, I had a lot of like leadership roles. I was very like band mom kind of thing. And then from there, I think that's how I decided I kind of wanted to get into music education and yeah.
Very cool. That's awesome. Can you describe a bit about what your experience was like as a student at Western?
Yeah, so I had a really good time at Western. There's definitely like a great sense of community there. That's like, I think always really been there, especially in the music faculty, just because you're kind of stuck in a building with like the same like 500 people like for the next 4 years of your life. So you kind of get to know everybody like pretty well. But it's definitely useful for like networking and making connections, and you'll always know somebody that knows somebody like that can do something. So that's really great. And the connections that like obviously, hey Lucas, obviously the connections I've made have been really useful and great. And then on top of that, like within the community, like the professors are so great. So like Jill Ball was our studio teacher, teaches like percussion. And just like wonderful educator, really cares about her students, passionate about education. And there's so many other great ones like Colleen Richardson, Kevin Watson, Kathy Benedict. Like I'm missing like a whole bunch, but they were so like they made a huge impact on me and like my time at Western. So yeah, great time overall.
That's super cool. What led you to want to study at Fanshawe?
Yeah, so I feel like secretly I've always been interested in like the recording side of things. Like growing up, I always like, I don't know, like I had a piano and I'm not great at piano, but I would just like plunk out chords to pop music and I would like send my friends Snapchats or like, and then eventually started get into like GarageBand and stuff like that. And so I was always recording like little projects just for myself. But I never like thought I could do it or never thought it was like something that I could do realistically or was capable of. So that's like one path I'm thinking like going into this, I'm going to learn so much about recording. I'm already learning so much and it's going to be super useful in the future.
Absolutely. How was being as a music student during COVID?
It was definitely tough, but I am grateful because Western was like one of the only schools that kind of kept it going. So I did get to go into school and practice, and I was able to do that. And I was able to still play with an ensemble. Although by the time we did the percussion ensemble concert, there was only like 10 of us were allowed to be on stage in PDT. I did have a fun year just because I was like in wind ensemble and I decided to audition for jazz band and Kevin Watson let me in. Thank you very much. And I did jazz combo as well under his direction. So that was like fantastic. Like I love doing jazz with him, learning from him, and then percussion ensemble. That's on top of that. So I was just like playing a lot of very different things.
Material, yeah.
But it was a good time, and so I'm really grateful for that because I think like my like we'll get to it, I guess, but like we like with my work with the OBA, just hearing about like how school was for most students like in high school or middle school or whatever, it was just rough. Like they didn't have anything. Like no one was allowed to play anything. yeah, so I'm very grateful, but it definitely was like challenging, like on a day to day, just because of all the like safety measures and precautions, but still very grateful. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's nice to hear that you were able to still have that in-person playing experience for sure.
Mhm.
So yeah, you mentioned about OBA. So as part of that was through a Canada Summers Job program, which is an exceptional program, and Bandology as well has received past several years funding as part of Canada Summer Jobs program, and I was fortunate to be as part of that as well. And so, can you tell a bit about your experience working as part of the Ontario Band Association?
Yeah. So the Ontario Band Association, or OBA, has, yeah, it's been a great summer. As you said, like it's a Canada summer student job, which, like, if you're a student, look them up. Like, there's really cool job opportunities. So yeah, I was there on the summer student team. I was their research and development manager. So worked on a bunch of different projects. So two of them were actually interview series. So one of them, the first project I ever did was with band teachers that were able to keep their programs running through COVID. So that's how I kind of know like how rough it was, because first of all, there like weren't a lot of band teachers that were able to like play with their kids in person, even to like very minimal extent. So that was like tough to hear, but that was definitely a great series that I think will be beneficial for like music advocacy as well. And then another project that I work on that was like I was really excited about, but also super nervous. We interviewed the past presidents of the OBA as part of their 20th anniversary. So, and we got everybody. So that was really great, and that's up on their webpage now, which is onband.ca, onband.ca. It's on their history page, so you can go check out like little clips there. So yeah, that was super exciting, and made lots of connections through that. I also updated their links on their COVID-19 resource page, which was like a lot of work because it was like hard to find, or finding out like, oh, that's like really out of date. And then I have to update it and find the best possible resource. Yeah, it's a little tricky, but we got there. And then finally, I created a like infographic for teachers going back to band this fall. So there was a bunch of different categories. So recruitment and retention, music technology, learning objectives and assessments. And then the last topic was called IDEA resources. IDEA is an acronym for inclusion, diversity, equity, and accessibility. So lots of excellent resources. I hope they're going to post that infographic soon. Basically, it's like within all those categories, there's just like a ton of links on all those subjects. So hopefully it'll be very, very useful for a bunch of educators. That's the goal. But yeah, so it was a busy summer, but like it was so great to work with the OBA, and everyone's so friendly and nice. So really grateful for the opportunity.
Very cool. So speaking, you've touched on a lot about music education, and Bandology believes music education is very important as well, and trying to advocate for bringing more music to more kids. So my question to you is, why do you feel music education is important?
Yeah, I just feel like in general, like music education is just such a great creative outlet for a lot of people. It's so good for like your mental health and your social skills and just like so many different things. Um, and just like fun. And I think that everyone should have access to like music education and playing music, because it's good for so many of those things.
Absolutely. Do you have any advice for students who might be considering studying music at a post-secondary level?
Yeah, for sure. I always think it's like good to do your research. I always think like you get more out of it if you just talk to the people that actually go there, or talk to the professors that you're going to be studying under. So if you're going somewhere like Western or U of T or whatever, where you're going to have private studio lessons, like have a private lesson, like with, the prof that might be with you for 4 years teaching you how to play your flute or your whatever, like do that. And then talk to the students, because then you find out like the inner workings of things. Like, do you have to book the practice rooms, or is it just like a first come first serve? Like it's little details like that, that might make you go one way or the other. So I think it's always good to talk to people, rather than just like reading stuff and then taking that face value.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And what was one of your favorite experiences or moments or performances from your time at Western?
Oh boy. That's so hard. Experiences or performances? I don't know. Okay, so the last percussion ensemble concert, like it was obviously very tough because we had to be 10 like max basically in PDT. And like if anybody knows Western and PDT, like that's the main performance hall. It's like big, right? So then but anyways, and one of the pieces we played was called Tsunami. And in like the score, it calls for somebody to just like yell like scream, and I was just like, I would like to volunteer. This is not what I imagined my fourth year to be. I would personally like to do the scream. And yeah, I think like some genuine like angst like left my body when I like it was like cathartic. Yeah, so that was definitely memorable. But I don't know, like I always definitely get nervous during concerts, so but I don't know. There's so many great like moments at Western that I think a lot of them come from like just the percussion studio in general. Was like I said, good community. We like had, percussion parties and barbecues and stuff like that. And I think just like little moments of like hanging on the hallway, talking, hanging out, joking around. Like I'll definitely always remember those little moments.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that. We'd like to do one more little fast 5 questions at the end. So
if
you're up for the challenge, we'll go into them. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. First question, favorite movie soundtrack?
Okay, Forrest Gump, like for sure. So
nice. Good stuff. Question 2, instrument you wish you played?
If it was a band instrument, euphonium, because I played euphonium for 1 year in conducting class and it was like amazing. I didn't want to return it. And then otherwise probably cello, but I'm terrible at cello, so yeah.
Nice. Hidden talent?
I don't think I have one. Like I know people, I can bend my fingers this way, I can do that. I don't think, I'm pretty ordinary. I don't know.
Podcaster maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, secret podcaster. I don't know.
You're not still running or
I should. I was thinking
thing?
about
Yeah.
I think I should do it at Fanshawe now. Like it was just like a Western thing and I was like, I'll just like it'll just stay a Western thing, but now I'm like, maybe I should make it a Fanshawe thing. Make the audio quality even better. Record it actually in a studio, not just like me carrying around my Yeti.
Dream vacation?
Okay, definitely visit my extended family in Ireland. That's like, I need to do that. So that's definitely gonna happen.
Nice, yeah. Ireland's a sweet place. And last but not least, favorite concert you attended? Okay,
I'm torn between two because I saw Snarky Puppy with Sam and Quincy from the percussion studio, and that was great. That was so great.
I think I almost came to that show. I really wanted to. Like, I think Sam was like, go, because it was like in September of 2019 or something, right when I started Humber. And Sam was like, you should come. And I was like, I want to, but I don't know. But
yeah,
I heard
it was
a
like
good
so
show.
Sick. I was like 5 feet away. It was so crazy. But then also like I saw Maggie Rogers like with my cousin, and at the time I didn't know her. My cousin just like had an extra ticket, and the last like thing she did, she just sang like a cappella. I just like got chills. So I don't know, for very different reasons, both of those concerts. Yeah,
that's awesome. All right, well, thank you, Roisin, for taking the time, talking a bit about your experience at Western and now at Fanshawe, and for providing some advice for young musicians potentially interested in studying music at post-secondary.
Cool. Yeah, and thank you, Lucas, and Bandology for having me. Yeah, it's really cool.
Awesome. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Thanks for joining us. If you like what you heard, you can learn more about our organization at bandology.ca, which features information about music education, advocacy and research, and our Play a Gig and Bandcamp programs. Follow us on social media for more videos, performance, and interviews on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.